Hello and welcome once more to the business programme here on Kirklees Local TV. You might be surprised to learn that the UK's largest manufacturing base is located here in the Leeds City region, consisting of some 7,300 businesses with a sales turnover of £25 billion, with key specialisms being in the precision engineering of turbos, pumps, gears and valves. The total regional employment is nearly 1.4 million, of which over 144,000 are in general manufacturing, with 48,500 of those in advanced manufacturing. Given my background and specific interests in manufacturing and personal development, it's a pleasure to have as my guest today Phillipa Coultish, an organisational development coach who specialises in supporting established SMEs, particularly in the manufacturing sector, but who also has an excellent track record in delivering women in leadership programmes. Hi Phillipa, thank you for joining us today, and can I start by asking you to tell us about how you're involved in supporting the local manufacturing sector?
Happy to do that, David. Yes, I've been involved with the CKMA, the Calderdale and Kirklees Manufacturing Alliance, for about 8 or 9 years now, been on the steering group for that length of time. The CKMA exists to bring together local manufacturers. The reason behind why we do that is to inspire, so we like to inspire people through the factory visits that we arrange, local factory visits, visiting each other's premises to share best practice. We like to inform our members through the regular newsletter and through the members' events that we have with speakers specifically on topics relating to local manufacturing. And we like to integrate companies into the local supply chain. And there's quite a lot going on with the local supply chain at the moment, trying to bring companies together. So those are the three main areas for the CKMA. Right. And the other thing that I'm involved with is a deeper thing where it's more about personal development and professional development of the business leaders for manufacturing businesses, and that's the Manufacturers Alliance, confusingly. But that's come across from the Northwest, and we've now established a group in West Yorkshire.
Excellent, yeah. So typically what problems or issues do these local companies have, and how can engaging with these sector organisations help them?
I think a really common one with manufacturers is that they're fantastic at manufacturing, they're fantastic at production, at engineering, but they're not so good at marketing themselves, telling people that they're there, telling people how fantastic the products are. So marketing and business development is often an issue, and we do find when we put things on relating to those topics, we get a good audience, people come along to those. So they are very much a concern. And particularly at the moment, there's such a challenge with the skills that the companies are really struggling to recruit people in, to attract that talent in the first place, to train people in the appropriate skills that they really need in the manufacturing, and then to retain those people in the organisation, because there's such a shortage at the moment.
And it's about upskilling the existing staff as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Which everybody talks about sort of recruiting and things like that, but obviously upskilling existing employees is a critical route to take.
It is, and it's a huge concern at the moment because so many of the local engineering companies have got the main workforce is late 50s, early 60s.
Absolutely.
And those skills we seem to have missed a generation somewhere. So that's a big concern, and something that CKMA particularly is going to be focusing on for the next year.
Yeah, you did hit one of the nails on the head there in terms of problems that local manufacturing businesses have, because we have some fantastic advanced technology businesses based locally. They seem to be well kept secrets, as you've alluded to.
They do.
Plus, we could add that in general most of these businesses don't actually come out and network very often. I believe that there are several opportunities coming up over the next few months for them to be more proactive and absolutely showcase their skills and capabilities.
Yeah. Like you say, it's the best kept secret, and they are really good at doing what they do, but they're very busy people as well. So they tend to be, heads down, crack on, getting the sales in, getting the production right, and the products out. So they're very focused on that, and a lot of them don't particularly like to go out there and do what they consider to be networking. They feel a bit uncomfortable with it. But the meetings that we do have at the end of the evening, when we've got engineers talking together, you know, we're trying to shoo them out of the door at the end of the evening, because they actually find when they do come together that they've got lots in common with the other businesses. So people really do enjoy it when they get out there, and the factory visits people really enjoy as well. We are particularly, in this year it's the year of engineering for 2018, and there are some upcoming events in October that we are particularly promoting, and they've got a two-pronged approach really. One is about attracting talent, so one is trying to get young people to appreciate that manufacturing might be a career that they want to go into. A lot of young people have no idea what manufacturing is all about. They tend to think that it's just the production part that's actually in the factory. But you know, there's the whole range, right from initial idea right through R&D, innovation, all of those things, product development and everything, all the way through to marketing and sales and having accounts and all. And there's no appreciation of all the range of things that there are within a manufacturing business. So we're holding these events, and it's to get young people to appreciate that what there might be on offer, and that there are these fantastic businesses with great opportunities locally. But it's also an opportunity for the manufacturing businesses to showcase themselves and to say, look, we're here. You know, you might not be ready to go into a job now, but in a few years' time, a couple of years' time, you might be. We're aiming it at year 9s. So we're getting them to think now when they're taking their topic choices, the subject choices, we're trying to get them to think about manufacturing as a career. So we've got those coming up in October.
So that's the Manufacturing Week event.
There's different events happening in across the country, but also in Leeds and Bradford. We're not clashing with anybody else's, so it's not in one specific week, but there are different things happening in October relating to the year of engineering. So ours are on the 23rd of October and the 25th of October, one in Huddersfield and one in Halifax, and we're just planning those at the moment. Okay, and when those are announced, details will be on the CKMA website? They'll be going out in the newsletter, they'll be on the website, yes, or anybody can contact me to find out more information about those. Oh, that's really good. So what inspired you to become involved in supporting local businesses so proactively? What have been the significant career experiences today that enable you to support businesses in such an effective way? I think I've always been a doer. I've always been somebody who likes to make things happen, and I think that's been recognised by the businesses that I work with. I had a career in the service industry, really started off in service industry, but then had some training and ended up doing government funded support for local businesses, and built up a good relationship with a lot of businesses. 6 years ago I went self-employed with that, and that's where the involvement with the manufacturing came along. And so I've continued that relationship with the Manufacturing Alliance and with quite a few local engineering companies. Which leads me on in a way to the specific interest of yours, which is supporting women in leadership. Yeah. Who have been your typical clients, and what types of problems and issues have they faced, and how have you been able to help them? I think it came about originally because I realised that I was going into quite a few of the smaller end of the businesses, you know, mostly less than 20-30 employees, where there were women in senior positions and they'd got similar responsibilities, similar roles, but they didn't really know anybody else, and often they felt quite isolated because quite a few of them were in pretty male-dominated industries and businesses. Quite a lot were in family businesses as well. And I realised that I could work with them and offer them workshops and theory about various things, but I wasn't actually in a business and working with staff and having responsibility for staff. So I started to introduce some of them to each other and realised that actually there's something significant here. People are liking this and buying into this. So then I've done over the last 5 years many workshops with women in leadership, all from that sort of size company, but they're all dynamic business leaders. They all really enjoy coming together and sparking off each other really, and they always say that they go out feeling a lot empowered and encouraged when they've met together. So that's turned into a real focus, really.
And there's an academic intervention as well from yourself, isn't there, in terms of in educating them, introducing them to new subjects?
Absolutely. I always say
topics.
it's 3 things. It's educate, so it's give them the theories, the new knowledge that they didn't have before. It's empower, so it's giving them some new tools, and then it's encouragement. So it's, you know, following it up with emails, with phone calls, and the support network that we've got as well. So those 3 things together seem to really work.
3 really powerful concepts there.
Yes.
And as we approach the end of our conversation, have you any message you'd like to send to our local manufacturing businesses?
I think really just to get involved. We've got so many more members than we actually have come along to meetings, regular meetings. So yeah, there's an opportunity. We really want to focus on skills going forward for the next year and finding out what the challenges are and seeing if there's anything that we can do collectively, bringing manufacturers together to do something about that. And so people always come along to the meetings or the factory visits and say they've really enjoyed it and they've learnt something, they've taken some new ideas away that they can implement into their own business. So I would just encourage people to get involved. You know, if they want to come along to the events, get in touch. It's only £50 anyway for a year to join, so that hopefully that's not a barrier for most companies.
It shouldn't be, should it?
You'd hope not. And then they get the newsletter which has all the information about everything anyway.
Phillipa, thank you once again for joining us today and sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. Hope that it inspires our local manufacturing businesses to get out and show the world just how good they are.
So do I.
And in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you again here on the business programme on Kirklees Local TV. Goodbye.